I instantly recognized him as Dave, the shadiest guy in Dave? You don't even have eyes. I mean, none of the dudes have eyes. So you know what? That's an extra creep factor right there. If the characters don't have eyes, you gotta really be careful. Yeah, alright everybody, welcome to the Indie Showcase with the Birdman. I am said Birdman. This is going to be Wholesome Monster Girl Academia. Now, as you could probably imagine with that title, there's plenty of things that resonate pretty well with me. Wholesome? I mean, we're a very wholesome channel around here. A lot of handhold.
Oh!
Right. Sorry. I don't know what came over me to say such a thing. Monster girls? I mean, who doesn't like monster girls? And an academia, which means a lot of monster girls. That said, we're going to be playing the role of a dude who gets shipped off to said monster girl private school because us, as a regular human, well, we got expelled from our university for standing up for a monster person. You see, here in this world, the monster girls, and I guess monster boys, are persecuted for being such creatures. However, you know better. You know the upsides to the monster girls.
Yes, sir.
The final bell of my first week as a high school junior blares throughout the hallways. My ears are soon filled with hundreds of simultaneous conversations from students all over the school. I shove my books into my backpack and rush out of the classroom, relieved to be free for the weekend. I'll probably spend my time gaming or seeing what my friends are up to. Now that we're super close, not that we're super close or anything to do anything meaningful, but it's still nice to hang around others with similar interests. For better or worse, it seems that nothing in my life ever changes. Even this year is starting to feel much the same as the last. Only difference is that I'm 1 year older than before. Get used to it, buddy. Get used to it. I leave the school through the double metal doors that lead downstairs into the parking lot. While rushing through the courtyard, I hear some raised voices coming from the far end of the sidewalk away from me. Hey! Don't hop away from us, Cottontail! I can't quite tell from afar, but a student with the build of a linebacker appears to be harassing someone. A bunny-type monster girl. And what a bunny-type monster girl that is. Could we, yes, thank you. Always offer the option to remove text boxes if your game has text boxes. It's just simple 101 basics, you know? A second shorter but slimmer student smoothly slides his arm around Sophia's shoulder. Hey, what are you doing? It's not that type of game, dog. I instantly recognized him as Dave, the shadiest guy in Dave? You don't even have eyes. I mean, none of the dudes have eyes. So you know what? That's an extra creep factor right there. If the characters don't have eyes, you gotta really be careful. Hey, you got any plans this weekend? Bill here and me, a good place to hang out free from prying eyes. Sophia's eyes shift around uncomfortably. I hesitate for a moment, thinking that I should just let this pass since there are plenty of other people around. What is that? The watcher effect or the onlooker effect, the passerby effect, whatever, where you don't do anything because you're thinking, well, there's other people here. They're gonna stop this from happening, right?
No, I don't think I will.
Please leave me alone. I have a boyfriend. That's not gonna stop him. I mean, if anything, it might even entice him. I told you they have no eyes. Oh, I'm sure you wouldn't mind if we just went out for a few drinks with old friends, would he? She's clearly lying anyways. Who would actually go out with a cursed freak like her? I mean, come on, dog. Bill, who you kidding? Hey, quiet, moron.
Hey, Norm. Hey, let's just go somewhere a little more quiet.
I've been told that a man is defined by the actions he takes. And I don't think I can consider myself much of a man if I don't take action now. Do we have a problem here? Hey, screw off, man. This is none of your business.
Yeah, mind your own business. Can't you see we're busy making plans for the weekend?
I wasn't talking to you two morons, I was talking to my friend Sophia. It isn't very common for humans and monsters people to hang out in most public schools, though there are a few exceptions. Everyone typically keeps to their own group, so it surprises these two that I even know her name. When I glance at Sophia's face, she appears relieved that she's no longer alone in the situation. She takes initiative and pushes Dave's arm off of her shoulder.
Hey, hold it! Hey, I'm not letting you go without having a little fun first.
Dave starts after her again and grabs a hold of her waist instead. I instinctively reach towards her, but suddenly see stars. Bill, no longer caring about Dave or Sophia, just sucker punched me directly in the temple. Somehow through my In perception, I've ended up with my back against the school building, leaving me no choice but to fight back. He swings wide, giving me the opportunity to duck and release a flurry of blows. Hey, at least my dude knows how to throw a punch. 2 hits to the gut and 1 to the jaw, all of which he brushes off like it's nothing. Oh. I guess it doesn't really matter if we don't have too much power behind his punches. In return, he punches me right in the eye, causing me to wince back in pain. Thinking quickly, I rush at him despite his build and try to tackle him back. It does me no good, however, since he's built like a truck and he pushes me backwards against the wall. He knees me in the gut and grabs my shirt with his hands, causing me to panic. I use the wall to leverage some extra force and kick him in the gut, causing him to bend forward in pain. However, right as I do this, we hear Sophia returning with a teacher in tow.
Here they are, right over here.
And as quickly as it started, it's over. The teacher rushes over, having witnessed only my final kick. She makes an instantaneous judgment then and there as to who was at fault, and has us march to the principal's office. It doesn't matter to them that I wasn't the one who started it. It doesn't matter to them that I was helping someone out of potentially a dangerous situation. All that matters to them is the school's no-tolerance policy. I sit in a chair with principal looming over me, lecturing me about fighting on school grounds, especially in the first week of school. He sentences me to a week of detention and threatens expulsion if anything like this ever happens again. Fortunately, my parents are a lot more patient than the school administrators, and I'm able to explain my side of things to them. It's because of situations like this that I know I have them to thank for my strong sense of justice. My parents, fed up with how my school handles bullying situations, decides to enroll me in a private Catholic school 3 hours away from home. I step forward and begin my trek through campus to familiarize myself with the school grounds. A few dozen students are roaming from place to place, enjoying their last day out before the weekend finishes. I start to feel a bit isolated since I'm coming from a different school, halfway through my high school career, a month into my junior year at that. I hope that I don't have any trouble making new connections. Still, this place doesn't look half bad, comfy even. I think I get used to it. I wander aimlessly for a few minutes, clueless as to where I'm headed, when I notice a large, beast-looking man walking in my direction. 2 giant ox horns adorn his head. I don't mean to stare, but it really is imposing at first glance. Besides this, I notice that he is dressed up in a priestly garb. Oh, okay. He must be the principal, Father John. While he approaches me, I wonder to myself if I should ask him for directions. Surely he'd be the one to ask for guidance around here. And almost as if he can read my mind, he asks me before I even have a chance. Hey there, friend. You look like lost sheep. Can I help you find your way? I'm sure there's plenty of sheep people here too, right?
This is Damien.
He's in your grade and student council member to boot. Damien? Do you know what you've done here, Father? Have you not seen the omen? Now left in the daywalker's care. Although Damien sure doesn't look like he has any energy to lead me anywhere, much less to anything but sleep.
So, you're a junior too, huh? Hey, what made you come to St. Thomas High?
It's a long story. Short version is that I got into a fight defending someone else, and my parents and I had different perspectives on the topic of justice than the school did.
Oh yeah? Hey, sounds complicated. So, what have you seen around the school so far?
It's the front gate in here.
Great, hey, let's head towards the most popular lunch hangout. Then we can head inside so you can see where our classes are held. I have some business around here and elsewhere, so I'll get it done while showing you around.
Thanks. And sorry for the inconvenience.
Hey, don't sweat it. It's my job to make sure all students are taken care of as a school council member.
Looks like I ran into the bigwig around here. Though he doesn't look like the type, he must do a lot of good for the school to have the principal rely on him like this. With Damien at the helm, I follow him to our next destination. We arrive in an open field with oak trees and picnic tables arranged near one another. The area is filled with students, the most prominent of which are a group of cheerleaders chanting synchronized cheers. I try to keep a steady pace with Damien, but I struggle to keep up as he makes a surprisingly quick beeline to the cheerleaders. By the time I catch up, the routine is finished and Damien starts talking to what looks like the head cheerleader. Unlike at my old school, I notice a lot of diversity among the group. Half of them are ordinary humans, but the other half are monster girls. Yo, what do we got here? Oh, look at that! The first, well actually, I was thinking the first girl they introduced is going to be a bird girl, such as your boy. But no, we actually had the rabbit girl first. But at least at the school, the first one was indeed of the feather variety. Oh, she must be a harpy. I haven't heard much about them except what I was told in ancient legends. Mostly they used to pick up random travelers and kidnap them with their sharp imposing talons. Oh, go ahead and kidnap me away all you want, mama. This harpy's short, brightly colored hair and her light blue feathers lower the intimidation factor by at least half. And if she weren't already coming closer, I'd say she looks very approachable. Those old tales can't be true, can they?
Hey there, I haven't seen you around here before. I'm Sarah.
Oh, hey, I'm Gabe, as in Gabriel? I reach my hand out to greet her before realizing that it might be awkward to grasp a harpy's talons. Her hand reaches mine before I can stop myself, and despite how it looks, the inside of her palm is surprisingly soft and her grip gentle.
Nice to meet you. So, am I right? Are you new here?
Yeah, I'm a junior. Came from a little town, three hours away.
A junior, huh? Me too. Hey, what brings you all the way out here?
I figure I'll have to repeat this a few times, so I quickly invent a way to summarize it for anyone that wants to know. Long story short, I got into a fight defending someone in my school and they had a no tolerance policy in place.
Oh, scary. A ruffian or a knight in shining armor. You have to spill the details later.
Yeah, well, so this is a popular hangout during lunch hours, huh?
Oh, yeah. It's where I usually catch up with all the latest gossip. I mean, talk to all my friends. Of course, there's an inside cafeteria as well, which is nice for when it's raining. Food's okay too, I guess. If you want to find someone during lunch or after school, this is the most likely place that you'll find them.
Because then Damien cuts in. Hey, Gabe, I'm done in this area. Let's go to the next place. Alright, yeah. Hey, nice to meet you, Sarah. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep, nice to meet you too.
I continue to follow Damien closely behind. He points out a few other relevant classrooms here and there as we walk along. On the way to the library, we run into two girls who are arguing over something. Okay, so we have our slime girl, and who else?
Come on, Eva. Let me see that book that you checked out. I'll bet it's another steamy romance novel.
A relatively short slime girl is teasing a blushing succubus who appears flustered. Oh, it would be the succubus. I can tell at first glance by the smug grin of the slime girl that she's a troublemaker. Looking closely, I notice her extremely sleep-deprived eyes and two cute little antennae poking out of the front of her, hair? Most of her body seems to be composed of a semi-translucent slimy material, all of which seems to hold up surprisingly well. Oh, there she is. Okay. I'm sorry, slime girl. You just literally been mocked in the same scene that you were introduced in. This is it. This is the one. To her side, the succubus who, despite her already bright red skin, appears to be blushing heavily at the slime girl's teasing. She has two little horns protruding from her dark black hair and a slender tail coming out from behind her that ends in a pointed spade. Her solid black eyes are illuminated by her bright yellow pupils. And while she's also shorter than me, she still has a few inches on the slime girl.
Cut it out, Clover. It's none of your business what I got, okay? I promise I won't tell anyone, except maybe Damien over there.
Hey, Clover. Picking on Eva again. Don't be so hard on her. You know how she's sensitive.
I'm not.
Clover snickers devilishly. Anyways, this is Gabe. He'll be in our class starting tomorrow. Nice to meet you both. Clover eyes me up and down with a smug grin on her face. Eva looks at me with some hesitation but quickly looks away when she notices my eyes looking back.
Likewise.
Eva looks at me with a slight suspicion and replies,
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Anyways, we better get going so Eva here can start on her new romance novel.
Eva smacks Clover's head with her book, which gives a distinct splat. I actually heard the splat too. Good on the sound effect. Then rushes off blushing.
Hold on, Eva, wait up.
These two normally get along, but Clover likes getting reactions out of poor Eva. Yeah. Clover sounds a lot like me. I'm a fucking natural troll in real life. Like, I don't ever do anything like maliciously, but I just like to get reactions out of people. See what they say. It's okay, I understand. As long as they're just friends teasing in the spirit of good fun, yeah? Exactly. In the spirit of good fun. There's a line, there's a line. You tease, but you don't take it too far. Alright, we're off to the gym next. Coming out of the back end of the school, the doors open up to a large field next to what looks like a gymnasium. Outside, multiple students are hanging out, throwing balls, and performing various other physical activities. I guess Sundays are still pretty busy for some of the sports clubs.
Not always, though. Some of us like to get ahead of the competition. Especially her.
As we weave our way through the various sports groups, my eyes focus on almost one entirely in sync. Dragon Girl, of course. Dragon Girl would be the sporty one. In front of the group, a tall dragon girl leads their movements with impressive gusto.
Huh. Yeah.
Quickly apparent that she's the leader. Besides her extremely tan and fit appearance, she towers over most of the rest of her group. Two piercing horns protrude from the side of her head, giving her a rather imposing appearance. Despite this, her sharp gaze implies her sharp wits. Her hair is drenched in sweat, which pours over the shiny red scales on the side of her face.
Alright guys, let's take a break.
Just as she calls for a break, Damien walks over to greet her. Hey, what's up, Ren? Working at the team hard on the weekend, I see.
Yeah, you can't let a day off be an excuse to get lazy. Let no day go to waste.
Ren glances over at me in the direction of my approach. Oh yeah, is this Gabe? He's new here. He transferred from a public school this year because he got in a fight at his old one. Ren turns to fully face me and look me up and down as if to size me up before a brawl.
Well then, maybe you should join the martial arts club if you think you can handle yourself in a fight.
I thought it was odd that Damien would bring up the fighting part of my intro, but it makes sense now. A not so subtle way to advertise the martial arts club, I guess. I'll have to think about it. The fight was a spur-of-the-moment thing. I don't really care for violence.
No excuses. The martial arts aren't about starting fights, just finishing them when necessary.
Ironically, right after saying that, she playfully punches me hard in the left shoulder, giving me a distinct smack. She smirks at me as she does this.
Just think about it. I'm usually practicing here or in the gym after school.
If it'll help me dodge your punches, I might have to. I say this while massaging my likely bruised shoulder.
You're funny. I'll see you in gym class then.
She turns to face her fellow martial artists and starts rallying back to them to training. Yeah, she's one of the school's best athletes, not just in the martial arts, but also basketball, volleyball, track, lifting. Actually, I don't think there's a sport she isn't good at. Speaking of, if you don't join the martial arts team, consider joining the basketball team. Season doesn't start until the beginning of November. Plus, there's the bonus that Sarah will be cheering you on as the new guy during the matches. I almost blushed at that request, but I quickly composed myself. I guess he noticed Sarah giving me attention apart from the rest of the cheerleaders earlier. I'll have to think on that too. I've never really formally joined any sports team before, but I can't say I'm bad at them casually either. Well, we'll get in gym class regardless. There's a good chance that Ren will challenge you and Sarah will be watching. Yeah, I'll keep that in mind. With the prospect of being staked out during gym by two monster girls on my mind, we continue on our journey. Alright, so Damien has apparently led us to the church of the school. It's a Catholic church after all. So, and he's gone off to do his own thing, so the door shut behind me with a soft thud. I allow my senses to take in my surroundings. The church appears to be mostly empty and quiet. A few steps in, I hear a faint humming coming from one of the back pews. I reverently walk down the center aisle, about a third of the way until I locate the source of the sound. And finally, we got our last one, I think, the vampire girl. A girl with, I mean, for me personally, I think I might have to, might be a little face-off between succubus and vampire girl.
What about the feathery harpy
Look, dog.
Maybe I like to go outside of the race. What about that, huh?
A girl with a long black ponytail and big red ribbon is leaning sideways in the middle of a pew. She reminds me of the members of a punk band I once saw on TV. The red and black striped stockings and the little skull on her chest really complete the look. Can we get a look at those stockings, by the way? Big stockings fan. She quickly types on her cell phone while gently humming in an unfamiliar tune. She doesn't seem to notice me, so I sit down in the same pew on the far side away from her to take in the reverent atmosphere. Just then, I hear the front doors of the church swing wide open. Father John steps through, heading down the aisle towards the altar. This alerts the girl sitting in the other side of the pew of my presence. She stops typing on her phone, takes a quick glance at me, then gets up to leave. I make a motion to stand up and get up out of her way, but end up stumbling into her. Before I can move again, I notice that she has two fangs protruding from her mouth. She must be a daywalker like Damien. Oh, sorry, not a vampire. Daywalker. I wonder if they know each other, considering how rare they are.
Excuse me.
Sorry. Let me get out of your way. I didn't mean to interrupt.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. I was finished here anyways.
He hurries past me and leaves out the front doors, passing Father John along the way. Father John continues his pace, passing her with a gentle smile until he stops in front of me. Ah, Gabe, hey, you came. Shows a lot about your character to come to confession on the first day before your new school. Sorry to disappoint, but my motives aren't so pure as that. The front of the church just happened to be the last stop of Damien's tour before he had to run off. By the way, who was that vampire-looking girl that just walked out of the church? Ah, that's Arya. It would be Arya, wouldn't it? She comes in here every once in a while during off hours. I feel that she hasn't yet accepted the promptings of the Holy Spirit to accept the Lord into her life, but At least she seems content in the chapel's serene atmosphere. Far be it from me to prevent her from spending time in the presence of the Blessed Sacrament. What she does here is of little concern to me unless she wishes to make it known. A non-religious vampire in her church, huh? Well, I've heard many strange things, but can't get more out of place than that. Wonder if she just has a complicated background. I won't judge her for it. Live and let live, I suppose. By the way, you may not know much about them, but daywalkers don't like usually being referred to as vampires. See? I gotta learn, in case I ever run into a vampire in real life, I now know not to refer to them as a vampire, but as a daywalker. Thank you. Games for letting me know. I'm an out-of-touch old man, you see. They're different of natures, after all. Sorry, I have a feeling I'm going to be learning a lot of new things about monster people. Fortunately, Damien did extend an invitation to me for open questions, so I'll catch up with him on that kind of stuff later. Alright everybody, that's said and done. We're out of time here with this one, so I'm going to wrap it up here. Hope you guys have enjoyed. This is only a demo, mind you, but it's a demo available to you guys, and as you saw, it's quite lengthy. From where we left off, more still goes on, so give it a look, check it out on your own time, make sure the developer gets a couple more eyes in her project, and hey, one to definitely look out for, and maybe when the full game is out, we'll circle back to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll catch you next time.